update on a heinous attack caught on camera in Harlem. Police have made an arrest in the case. Welcome back here. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. A woman was brutally attacked by a group of men outside a liquor store after she says she declined an offer to pay for the bottle of wine.
Police say one of the suspects is in custody after they arrested him in another case. CBS 2's Lisa Rosner has the story.
The scars from January 18th sent shockwaves throughout Harlem and beyond after CBS 2 told the story of a 31-year-old woman chased, kicked, and aggressively bitten outside a liquor store on West 128th Street. Surveillance video we obtained showed it happened just after she had walked inside alone to buy a bottle of wine. And she says the man in red, who police say is 22-year-old Tyrone Cooper, offered to pay. She told us,
I politely declined and I said, no thank you, but thank you. Could pay for it myself. And I got ready to walk out. Before I walk out, he basically said that he felt like I thought that I was better than them.
Cooper was taken into police custody Sunday for a separate incident. He appeared in Brooklyn criminal court Tuesday for allegedly choking and punching his girlfriend at this apartment building on 51st Street in East Flatbush. Sources say she told police Cooper misunderstood something she said. The judge ordered him be held on $3,000 bail. Sources tell us that Cooper is now being brought here to the 32nd Precinct in Harlem for charges related to the liquor store attack. But complaints from Manhattan and Brooklyn show he's been arrested several times before for other assaults.
There needs to be some penalties, and he needs to be arrested and not back out on these streets. He needs to do some time.
In Brooklyn last May, it's at the Clark Street subway station that Cooper allegedly asked someone for money, punched them in the face, and pushed them to the ground. He also faces charges of gang assault, menacing, and harassment in connection to a slashing at the Church Street station last year. And he's accused of stealing MTA gate keys at the Park Avenue South station. Now that Cooper is in police custody, the victim of the Harlem attack posted on Instagram, "I couldn't and still can't understand why so much rage." She pointed out that two other suspects in her attack have still not been caught and said, "I'm healing well and continuing to appreciate life as it is. One down, two to go." In Harlem, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
And as for the prior arrest, Cooper's lawyer said he had been complying with check-ins for supervised release and pleaded that he not be sent to Rikers because he has asthma. The judge denied that request, saying the defendant's behavior was disturbing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you just saw that video. What really bothers me is that this man's girlfriend, his friends, and his family knew it was him on the news. In order for us to clean up the community, we need to be honest with ourselves, all right? You might have a family member that you love, but they are not only detrimental to you, but to the community. And you have to stop allowing a place for them to run and to hide, okay? There needs to be no rock left unturned, okay? Nowhere should they be able to run or hide when they are committing these sorts of crimes in the community. People like this make it unbearable. I remembered when I used to live in the hood, and I used to have to go to the store so I could get my grandmother's numbers. And these kinds of dudes would be standing in front of the store day and night. I mean, I would go to work, I would come back, they would be there. I would go to school, I would come back, they would be there. I would go out to dinner, I would come back, they would be there. And it's like the rest of us in the community, there's nothing that we can do about it. They're just standing here in front of this store. Sometimes they might even try to grab a woman as she goes in, and if she has an attitude, all of a sudden they have an attitude, as if though they have a right to a woman's attention, as if though they have a right to touch a woman without her permission. People like this need to be dragged out of the community by their necks and by their ankles. The minute you start seeing that huddling, you know what I call people like this? Sidewalk stragglers and dusty dangers, okay? That's what I call them. Sidewalk straddlers and dusty dangers. These people are out in front of the liquor store all the time. They're out in front of the bodega all the time. Then, if the owners tell them to leave, they catch an attitude with them. You don't own anything. You don't own the sidewalk. You're standing in front of someone's business, bringing them ill repute, and you're doing either one of two things to make money. You're either dealing drugs or you're robbing people. I'm sick and tired of people like this in the community. But what makes me even more sick is that there are people who knew who this man was before he was caught for his crime and did not turn him in. These people are accomplices in my eyes. There's no way that you could commit a crime and then come to my house afterwards. But I'm a different sort of family member. And this woman who was fully clothed, and I'm glad that she was fully clothed, because for whatever reason, people will grasp for straws when it comes to how a woman is dressed and say it was this and it was that. No, we have mentally unstable people in the community that need to be kicked out immediately, all right? This sort of behavior needs to be addressed. If a woman does not want you, that does not mean that you further harass her. Even worse, it doesn't mean that you attack her. And you know what's the worst part about it is that he had friends with him joining in on this nonsense. You trying to tell me there's not one sensible person in that group? Then when he's in front of the judge, he's talking about he doesn't want to go to Rikers Island because he has asthma. This kind of person is no good to society, and they should be locked up and they should throw away the key. I have no sort of sympathy for this sort of human being. And somebody else left a comment under the original video saying people like this make it so hard to live in the neighborhood because you have good and honest people who are waking up every day to go to work, go to school, take care of their kids, or do whatever it is that they have to do. And then you have these sidewalk straddlers who are always in front of the liquor store, who are always in front of the bodega. Sometimes they're in front of the beauty supply store because they know women have to go get their beauty supplies. When are people going to tell these people to leave, right? Like, hey, listen, you gotta go. Store owners need to be more aggressive with telling them to leave. Do we have neighborhood watches? These people need to come in a group. Hey, listen, we notice that you're standing here all the time. Clean up the streets.